Hey guys, thank you for coming today. My name's Hunter James. I'll be kind of mediating, moderating this focus group today. I just want to let you guys know that your answers will be completely confidential, and we are videotaping, so please try to let one person talk at a time as best as we can. Also, if you have your cell phone, please turn it on silent, or if you want to just turn it off, maybe better, just so we don't have any interruptions. I want us to, listen to each other and agree respectfully, obviously, in any scenario. So why we're here today is that we are trying to better figure out the way people use transportation to and from around campus and what different things they'd be open to and susceptible to, what they already use, just the whole 9 yards when it comes to just transportation for UGA students around campus. So what I want to go ahead and do is I want to go around the room and I want you guys to give me your name, a little bit about yourself, like what your major is, just brief, nothing too lengthy. And then I want you to answer the question of how do you normally get to campus every day? How do you use, once you're on campus, do you use any transportation? So, let's start with you.
My name is Glenn Hogan. I'm a finance and real estate major from Alpharetta, Johns Creek, Georgia. But I usually get to campus. I'll drive from my house to Greek Park, which is like an area over behind the stadium, and then from there I'll usually take the bus or to somewhere close to class, or I'll walk, just depending on how nice the day is. Doesn't really matter to me.
Okay.
I always like to mix it up.
Awesome.
Keep things interesting. So.
All right.
My name is Nick Hopcroft. I am an intended marketing major. I live on East Campus, so I will either take the bus or walk to campus. And
Okay.
it's basically just those two things.
All right.
Ben, I'm a MIS major. I normally drive to campus,
Okay.
and then after that I just walk.
You just walk?
That's why I'm sweaty right now.
Okay.
So,
I'm Kelly. I'm a biological science and entomology major. I drive to my parking spot at O House, and then if it's up to me, I'll just walk. But if I'm with a friend and they want to take the bus, then I'll take the bus.
My name is James Lambert, and I'm a entertainment media studies major.
Okay.
And I take an apartment bus from my apartment, and they drop me off at the North Library stop, and then I just walk down to Grady. So.
Okay.
And then I do have this cool thing called ATP. I don't know if you've heard of this program, but they have it where you can park for 2 times a month in the parking decks, and several one of them for free completely. And so if I miss my apartment bus or whatever, it gets overcrowded, then I just drive my car to the north deck and park there. So
That's
it's been
nice.
quite nice. Yeah.
That's nice.
Sure.
That's really nice. Okay, so going off of that, and we'll make this an open discussion, so feel free to make it very conversational. Don't feel like you're just answering me. You can talk to each other, obviously. Sorry, first track. So, did you guys apply for parking on campus?
I'm not through UGA. I park next door through BCM. It's like a campus ministry. So,
Okay.
I think you do too, don't you?
Yeah, I actually park at the Episcopal Center at O House. I didn't even bother applying for parking. I just
Yeah, you do.
You park where?
at the Episcopal Center.
At the school center?
Yeah, it's right across from O House, so it's like private parking done through a church.
Oh, wow. Okay. Awesome.
I just try and completely avoid parking on campus.
No,
honestly.
I get it.
I
get it.
But I do have to register with the parking services, but there's no charge whatsoever, so it's really nice. And I just go walk on into their office on East Campus in September each year and pick it up. So it's like another half.
So wait, how does this work?
It's literally, I get free parking twice a month, and it's just
How?
another badge. Basically, just as if you paid for parking in a deck. And it works in like 5 decks, not Tate and not like in East, like the biggest decks. Right. And then you just apply for it, it's completely free. And then in September each year, then you just go get your new little pass. That's basically the
You have
exact
to look
same
into
one.
this.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow.
free.
Very
So,
interesting.
and it automatically resets every month. So once you've used your 2 for the month in September, then next month it'll be free again.
I'll have to talk to you about this later.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I have a parking spot on East Campus just because I keep my car there because I live on campus.
Okay,
But
okay,
it's not for commuting.
okay, that makes sense. Okay.
And then I've got a parking pass at Greek Park, but that's not through UGA. UGA gives it to like all the houses, and then they kind of give it out to members depending on who needs one, so
All right.
I got lucky, but.
Yeah, well, you know, seriously. All right, so going off of that, so tell me about some disappointments you've had with campus transportation, either to and from or going around campus.
I think they need another bus on East Campus Express.
Okay.
I'm always missing that one, or it's always full in the mornings. I mean, and there's times when you literally can't get on the bus, so that's always a pain in the, you know what, so.
Yeah.
And the donkey.
I totally get that.
Yeah, that's pretty much why I walk everywhere, because the buses
Yeah.
are just so crowded and it's
Too many people go here.
yeah.
Yeah.
We need to tighten up the corners.
I need to exercise, it's fine.
I totally
The horse
get that.
decks are pretty packed, like always, unless you get there like super early in the morning, but, so I don't know what you guys think about like the bird stuff that they've been taking up, like all those scooters and all, have you guys used that stuff, or?
That is an interesting
Because
point
I've
you bring
seen a
up,
lot.
and I promise you we're gonna get to that
Okay.
later on.
I'm
There you go.
sorry.
No, you're totally good. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So going into that kind of, do you or how much money do you budget for transportation each week? Would you say?
Are you just including like the gas that we use? or
Yeah.
sources
It
or
could be
whatever?
anything. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, luckily for me, like my apartment bus, like since it takes me everywhere that I need to go, then I budget very little, just
When you say that, would you
probably like,
just
I don't
a
even
rough
know,
estimate?
like no more than 2 gallons a week, I'd say. So nice.
Okay.
Yeah. I kind of budget more by semester, like I pay $150
Yeah, I do
for
by
a
semester.
By semester?
That doesn't include
Okay.
gas.
Yeah, it's a park, and then gas, like,
Gas is just like an overhead, I don't really think
yeah,
about.
whenever you fill up.
Yeah.
You don't
I
save
get
your
that.
receipts.
I did think, I try to keep it 300 a year for like parking pass, and then like gas is just overhead, but I really don't know the exact amount I'm spending, so.
Okay. Great. So I was gonna ask you like what you do, what do you spend it on? So that's
Yeah,
awesome. Basically answered the question.
About $10 a month on my spot.
$2 a month, you'd say? Well, I guess you do it over that makes sense.
$40 a month on my spot,
Yeah,
so every
I'll do
week, and then
40.
whatever I spend on gas, is what I spend on gas. I don't really pay attention.
You don't pay attention to the gas?
Does
Okay.
your parents help with the parking, or do you guys?
I
like,
paid
actually
last
for
year,
yourself?
so they paid
Wow.
this year.
Okay, nice.
There you go. So, going off what you were saying, James, so I'll ask you this directly, so maybe you can give us a little overview. How familiar are you with bird scooters?
I'd say I'm sort of familiar with them.
Yes.
I mean, I know how you can do it. It's just for me, I just love getting around campus pretty cheaply, so I'll just walk around and I'll see them, but they don't appeal to me because I'll just walk up and down the hill, so I'll do the scooter.
So you don't need the scooters?
No, I would love to be able to, like, for people that want to have that option, but for me, like, I'm very frugal as a person, so
Okay.
I'm a bit laughing because I know that. So I don't see myself using it. I mean, maybe like once just because for fun, but other than that, but for those that want to, that have further distances than just walking to Grady, then yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback off what you said, it's like I always see them around. I've only ridden one once, and granted, it was a blast. I'm not gonna lie, but the practicality of it didn't seem to where I needed to spend money on it every day. I mean, it was not that cheap. I mean, it was not that expensive just to get around, but I would rather just go ahead and walk through campus because to me, campus is always fun to walk through. You never know who you're gonna see. Whereas if you're riding a bird, you're kind of just going from point A to point B as fast as you can without having to take an Uber or something like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think it just depends on your time restrictions, whether you want to use them or not.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I've never had to cover a distance, like in a certain amount of time where I need a bird.
So you don't go far enough till you really need it?
Never where it's like even within a 15 minutes between classes, I just never had to go that far. So it seems like a fun thing to do, but it's not something that I would spend money on unless I absolutely had to.
Okay.
I feel like maybe for like a freshman year or something, if you're going out to all the different places and buildings, whatever, then yeah, it's useful to like after that like once you've gotten to your actual major, then you're almost always in that one building or one or two
Mhm.
buildings, so you don't really need
That's a good point.
that, so.
To be honest, I haven't seen them in locations where they would be useful to me.
I agree.
Most of the time, I just see them all like on Millage, and I'm like, well, I'm not even walking on Millage, so these don't really apply to me.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. I get that. So, for those of you that have used Bird, how much money would you say that you spent on it as your time, like while you've been here at UGA?
$3, $4.
$3.
I've only ridden one once, but like if I were an avid user, I mean, it would probably be like 15, 20 per week or something. So I mean, it's $2 just for the initial ride,
Yeah,
plus however far you want to ride it. So if you're using it to class and then back from class, I mean, it's gonna rack up pretty costly eventually, so.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
I haven't used them for other reasons, just because I don't really know how to use them, and I'm like always kind of worried about safety, but hearing that they're expensive is like, I don't even know if that's worth it.
Okay, so, and then also with that, recently UGA has been cracking down on like the Bird's use around campus, like where they're allowed to be. Does this change the way that you view Bird, or how you use them, like how you've used them with these recent regulations?
I think the crackdown is because people are being stupid.
Yeah.
So those few people probably might want to reconsider how they use Bird, but for the most part, I think you can still use it in the same way
Okay.
and for the purpose it was intended.
It makes me less eager to use them because I feel like I don't know anymore like what's legal and what's not legal, and I really
That
don't
makes sense.
have the money to get a ticket if a cop pulls me over because I was using it wrong.
Yeah, I have some friends that have got citations for using them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's
that's-
pretty,
I think they were just using them like normal. I don't know, like, that's the thing, like, that's why it's kind of risky, like, not knowing what's legal and what's not with them.
okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, what is y'all's experience with riding bikes to and from campus or around campus?
I've used the ones at the main library, which are like free to rent for UGA students. Those are pretty nice. Well, okay, I will say the first one I rode, the tire fell off the back, but the second one I rode was all good, and ever since then it's been good.
It fell off the back.
Yeah, the tire just stripped off, like,
Oh.
besides that, it is.
Wow.
I mean, it's already paid for, it's free, in a sense, so.
Yeah.
So quality is definitely important there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice, I'd ride from the library to Ramsey and back, so.
Oh, okay. Alright. Anybody else
I
have
haven't biked at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like,
I've almost been run over by a few bicyclists, but that's
Oh, yeah.
it.
Oh, really?
Nice.
There's the next question about skateboards.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay,
but,
good, because
um,
I hate those on North Campus. Sorry. Sorry.
So,
Anyway.
going off of that question, if you have ridden a bike or if you would ride a bike, would you feel safe riding it about around campus? I know, Kelly, I think you mentioned that you almost been hit before. So,
Yeah, I don't
You
know
wanna
if I would
elaborate on
feel
that?
safe riding one because of like all the buses and like, again, not really knowing
Okay.
what's legal and like,
okay.
also like I have some family friends that have been in bike accidents, so my parents are very like, we're not paying for you to have a bike.
That makes sense. I totally get that. I totally get that.
I would use a bike. if
You
I
use
had
a
one.
bike?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to elaborate on that at all, or like, why would you want to use a bike?
It's faster than walking.
Okay.
You're still getting some sort of exercise, so I feel like it's beneficial.
Okay. That's a good point.
That'd be the main reason. Also, you don't have to pay to park it. You just put it at a rack. There's a lot of racks, so it's usually pretty convenient.
Yeah.
If you need to.
That's a good point. So, where do you usually see racks when you're around campus?
There's the ones on East Campus. I live on East Campus, so there's lots around dorms there. There's some outside MLC. I'm a business major, so that would be my main place I go.
So, how far would you say generally?
Far from MLC?
No, how far are the bike racks from each other?
Oh, probably about a 10-minute bike ride.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't ridden a bike in a while, so I don't know how fast you have to go or what that would be like. But I'd say probably about 2 minutes apart.
Okay, generally. That makes sense. That makes sense. So, if you were going to use a bike, how much would you be willing to pay for it if you're riding around campus?
The last bike I had, I was probably 11. My parents got it from Toys R Us for like $100, so I have no frame of reference on how much to spend on a bike, but probably not more than whatever a parking pass would cost, because that's what you'd be comparing it to.
Okay, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
I just don't even trust my biking abilities right now. I need to,
Okay.
especially around these hills and stuff for areas.
So you wouldn't feel safe with it?
Probably not, especially with how many cars and around this area too, so.
For me, if I was gonna buy a bike, I would want it to be kind of relatively nicer, just because I live like a decent ways off campus, and like I don't want it to, or just to like break down when I'm on the road or something like that. And I also
Mhm.
want it to be as easy as possible, because I don't want to get to class sweating up a storm and all that. I mean, that's half the battle right there, is the
Yeah.
elements.
That makes
So,
sense. That
I mean,
makes
I
sense.
don't know, there's a lot to it.
Yeah. So, how many bike racks would you want around campus, like distance-wise, to where you'd be willing to do something like that?
I mean, I would want there to be like, because if you kind of look at UGA and a little, you can pretty much cluster you can cluster buildings, and then you go to that specific bike rack, and then you walk 2 minutes to your class. There should be, I mean, obviously there's ones in the main library, there should be ones at the Arch, and you could pretty much go every like, what, quarter mile, half mile, and then you would have the whole area covered. And bike racks aren't that expensive. I mean, they're a couple pieces of tube steel, that's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take much to put them in, it doesn't take much to pay for them, but, I mean, you could cover the whole, you could probably fill in what you haven't covered already for a very minimal amount of money, and just get people to bike more, but then you have to kind of regulate who bikes and all that in a way to where everyone knows what they're doing, because,
Yeah. That makes sense.
so.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I have one outside of my, like on the property of the Episcopal Center where I park. And so even though I don't currently bike, every time I walk past it, I'm like, man, I could just hop on my bike right now and
Yeah.
go ahead and go.
Yeah.
So
It's a good
it makes me
point.
think about it every time I walk by. I'm like, oh, bike could be nice right now.
Interesting. Interesting. All right, guys. Well, so out of everything we've talked about today, what would you say the most important thing to you is about your transportation to and from and around campus?
I would want it to be speedy and cheap. I mean,
Okay.
from living in pretty much on campus last year, I could wake up at maybe 20 to 30 minutes before I had class and run and make it there. And then now I live what seems only to be like a half mile more, but it takes me a full hour to get to class, find a parking spot, then hop on the bus, get to class and all that. So
Yeah.
it seems like a whole rigmarole,
Yeah.
which instead of what I had to deal with by living on campus, but
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say like being on time for classes,
Yeah.
it being affordable, and then also just being available, because that's like why I don't park with UGA, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna get a pass, so I just park with friends.
Okay.
Cheap and convenient.
Convenience.
Speed with that, so.
Okay. All right. Well,
with what she said though, sorry, I don't.
no, you're good. Go ahead.
With what she said, sometimes UJ seems to like overcompensate, or they give more passes than they really realize they have.
Mhm.
Or you have people who just go ahead and park there that don't have passes, and it just kind of takes away from the whole reason you bought like a $300 pass or something like that. So it can be a pain. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's a good point. That's a good point. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. This has been very helpful. Do any of you guys have any additional final thoughts you'd like to share about what we've been talking about, or anything that you from previous questions? No? All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming. Y'all have a great day. Get home safe.
Yeah.
Don't get hit by a bus. Thanks, guys.